There are so many ways to spend your money in RuneScape, and so in this video we are going to go through some of those ways that are just better than others for you to spend your money on. We're going to be talking about some things that you should focus on buying first, but then also later in the video we are going to be talking about some specific items that you should spend your money on as well, and just go through in no particular order on some amazing ways to spend your GP in this game. So if you are someone who is maybe working on your account still, you are like leveling up or whatever, or maybe you are someone who has got towards max now and you don't know what to buy with your next sort of upgrade or whatever, then maybe this video can help you out. If you find the video useful, if you do get any sort of entertainment out of it, please do leave a like on the video. Also, do subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. One last little mention, I have started a Patreon as well, which does help keep me full time. So if you want to support the channel, but also get some specific Patreon only content, there's a couple of videos over there for now so far, and then there'll be more coming up soon in the near future, and I'll stack them up. But all patrons and any tier will get access to any unique, specific, only Patreon content once I do post it over there. There's probably going to be like one every week or 2 weeks or something. If that interests you, there's a link in the description, but otherwise, let's get started. Okay, so this is mostly in no particular order, except for this very first one, which should be your very first thing to worry about anyway, and that's why I've put it here, because it makes sense, finally. Something in one of my videos makes sense. No, anyway, we're going to start off by talking about you should initially focus pretty much all of your GP as a newer player or like a mid-level player or someone who's not quite fully maxed yet into leveling up your account. Reinvest all of the money you get back into your account, into your levels. Now, levels are incredibly important. Everybody does want money, right? Everybody wants GP. That's kind of the focus of RuneScape. However, if you focus all of that money that you make earlier on into leveling up your account faster and progressing and getting those higher levels in all skills, not just in combat, not just in like one specific skill, just level up all round, get your account nice and leveled up. You don't have to be fully maxed, don't get me wrong, you do not have to be maxed, but if you level up your account, a high level player is going to make a lot more money in return, and of course that's obviously a good thing. If you can reinvest your GP into your character, level up your character, and then make more GP quicker, trust me, you will lead to faster riches as a high level player before. Now, if you are a PVMer specifically and you don't want to do all these skilling things, you should still do them, but like if you are looking to upgrade your account for PVM now, like now, the things you should focus on more specifically to invest your GP into is going to be prayer, herb lore, and summoning. These are so helpful in PVM and probably better than gear in most situations. Getting overloads, getting the DPS curses from the Ancient Curses spellbook from level 95 prayer and Soul Split 92 are going to make a massive difference. Getting a Ripper Demon, getting like a Nihil or anything like that with summoning is going to be absolutely huge. These are expensive endeavors to go for, but they are definitely worth going for in all situations. It's just worth it. Now, Invention is also a great one to go for as well, but it requires more different stuff and more scaling and stuff, and while it is going to give you great like benefits, it's something I'll still focus on prayer, herb, and summoning first. So for a PVMer overall, prayer, herb, and summoning are going to be absolutely worth spending your money on, but overall, just reinvest your GP back into your actual account first and your levels first, level up your character, progress in the game a little bit, and you will notice that the money just rolls in. Like, I don't even know what to do with the money I have right now, because I make it and I just give it to other people because I'm like, I don't want anything else. And that's because high-end money making is just crazy. It's crazy. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's move on to more specific things to spend your money on. Number 2 on this list is going to be, do not make the mistake of what a lot of people do, and I did this as well. I can put my hands up and be like, yeah, I did this. I was a little bit stupid at the time, but it's okay because we've learned from the mistakes. Do not upgrade like loads of armor and stuff like that before doing your weapons. If you're a PVMer, if you're doing Slayer, if you're doing anything with combat, you may be tempted to get some nice shiny new armor. You're looking at it and you're like, holy crap, that amazing God Wars Dungeon 2 armor, the Sliske armor is so nice. I want it. It's going to make me better. It's going to make me a better PVM. No, don't do it yet. Make sure you've upgraded your weapons first, and then maybe even got yourself like some accessories like a God book from like the God Wars Dungeon 3 bosses, or maybe you got yourself, I don't know, in most situations, you want an essence of finality before upgrading any more of your armor from like the cheaper sort of variants. This is because DPS in this game is absolute king. You don't want to spend all this money on armor if your weapons aren't quite there yet. You're going to get way more benefits out of upgrading your weapons first, and then upgrading like other accessories and stuff, and then at the end, towards the end, in most situations, upgrading your armor. Now, I've mentioned this in the past. I've mentioned it recently, in fact, in another video, but it is again worth mentioning in this one. So again, I will do what I did last time and link the PVME Discord in the description. If I don't remember this, guys, please someone comment and tell me, because I always seem to forget. But anyway, I will link it in the description. And if you join that Discord server, it has a really useful bit of information that will give you a specific upgrade order in the items you want to buy for each individual combat style. So if you like to use magic, it will tell you, you buy this item now, and then this one's your next one, and then this one's the next one. And these are ranked in the most efficient way of buying these items. So this way, you're not going to go ahead, get level 80 weapons, and then buy level 90 armor, and then go, oh crap, I've got really good armor, but I didn't see an increase in like my efficiency, because it doesn't really do that much in comparison to getting a level 90 weapon, or even a level 85 weapon in an ability codex, for example, which is going to lead us quite nicely into our next one. Okay, getting more specific in things that you want to buy now, rather than being like, oh, invest in your levels, or invest in weapons first. Now we're going to get a bit more specific on things that are incredibly useful to spend money on, things that are definitely worthwhile investing in. Now, the first one I'm going to talk about leads in from the last one, which we talked about ability codexes, right? So overall, ability codexes are a great way to invest your money, because you're going to get a lot out of these ability codexes. A lot of them are going to be better than others, but the one I'm specifically going to talk about is for you magic users like me. I am a magic one-trick pony, and I love showing off my pony skills. I don't know what's got into me with this video, but anyway, Great Concentrated Blast is an amazing ability codex that everybody should own, especially if you're using magic, because let me tell you, this thing, when they added it to the game, was so freaking good. Great Concentrated Blast changes the regular Concentrated Blast ability into a stronger version. Rather than having to cancel it earlier on, you will then be able to get all of the hits in the same global cooldown, basically. This allows you to get more damage out of it, but the Great Concentrated Blast ability makes the level 85 dual wield weapons, which aren't that expensive, better than a tier 92 staff two-handed version, which is way more expensive, but the dual wield cheaper option is better. It is better. The codex is quite expensive. I believe it went down and then immediately went back up again. You'll have to check the price as of watching this video. You could be watching it 6 months from when I recorded it. You could be watching it 3 minutes from when I recorded it. But check the price of the Great Concentrated Blast ability codex, because this is absolutely worth it. You will always use this in the future. It is not going to drop off. This ability is going to be great unless they nerf it into the ground like they did with Greater Ricochet. You might want to check that before buying this if you're watching this video quite a way ahead. But overall, the Great Concentrated Blast ability codex gives you a ton of DPS. It gives you crits when you get the Staff of Armadyl. It gives you extra adrenaline gain because you're getting crits when you use Tsunami. It is just overall a really freaking good ability. So invest your money in it if you're a magic user. Save yourself money on getting a two-handed tier 92 staff, which, by the way, Jagex still needs fixing or giving a buff because it is absolutely trash. But unlike that, the Great Concentrated Blast ability codex is not trash. You should buy one. Next up, we are going to loop back around to something that I mentioned earlier and then kind of said at the same time that this is not as good as the other ones, but actually it's really freaking good. That is going to be Invention. Now, I'm not going to talk about just leveling Invention, because you will be doing that while doing this anyway, but at the same time, I'm going to be talking about just regular, good old budget perks. If you are someone who is just getting into PVM, you haven't built up your bank yet, and you're wanting to get good value for your money, then budget PVM perks will give you a huge difference in comparison to upgrading maybe like a new weapon, or maybe a new accessory like a ring or something like that. You can get a hell of a lot more from putting some budget PVM perks onto your gear. Now, things like this may just include like Precise 6 or Equilibrium, or maybe Aftershock on its own or something like this. Aftershock's quite expensive, so maybe not that one. But you can look up the actual perks guide on either the PVME Discord or on the wiki, the RuneScape wiki, and you can see which perks are pretty cheap and which ones are really good to use. But going from having no perks whatsoever to having some pretty cheap, like Crackling or something like that, Crackling, Devotion, Enhanced Devotion, all of these sort of things, Relentless, you're going to notice a big difference. You can get these perks for fairly cheap precise and equilibrium and stuff, and you can add them to your gear and you will notice a difference. Enhanced Devotion is going to basically give you the devotion perk during fights, which will save you money as well because of actual, one, you're probably going to die less in some situations, and two, you're going to save food because you're not eating as much, and then obviously getting extra DPS out of stuff then also gets you faster kill times, makes you more money, but overall, budget perks, 100% worth getting these budget perks like on your gear before you get these higher best in slot ones. Don't just go from nothing to best in slot. If you have a little bit of extra money laying around, budget perks are definitely worth the money. Look into it. Trust me, you won't regret it. Next up, we are going to be talking about another PVM item. Man, I only PVM in this game. Is there really much else to talk about in this game? No, there's not. PVM is everything. But we are going to be talking about the, the defenders. Okay, defenders. Got to stay on topic. Defenders are incredibly worth your money. Now, I'm going to be talking more specifically about the tier 80 ones. The tier 80 defenders are absolutely worth your money because, surprise, surprise, these actually cost nothing. These cost dungeoneering tokens and a bit of time investment. So these are definitely worth your money. Shockingly, they are free. But defenders overall are still worth it, but these ones are kind of like more, these are absolutely worth it. You want to get these, and I know this is how to spend your money, but you kind of spend your time the same way. Defenders are really useful because they let you use defense abilities like resonance or reflect or like revenge and all this sort of stuff, barricade and whatnot, without actually having a shield on, but it also gives you the access to your dual wield abilities as well. So if you're on magic and you have the ancient lantern, you can still use great concentrated blast, but you can also use resonance and reflect and barricade and all this sort of great stuff, right? The defensive abilities are reduced in effectiveness, but they are incredibly useful. Most people will take a defender, and I also always take a defender over a shield in most situations. Unless you specifically need a longer duration barricade or something, defenders are usually better. You're going to get more DPS out of it, and you're also going to still be able to use the defensives. They are incredibly useful. So I would grab one of these to get the ancient ones, the ancient lantern, the ancient defender, or the ancient repriser, which are just all magic range and magic melee versions. See, melee doesn't exist, guys. You basically all you need to do is have the ancient emblem, which you get from Nex, and then get the chaotic splint, and you combine them together. The chaotic splint you spend engineering tokens on, and the ancient emblem again is from Nex. To get this though, you do need to get the previous levels of defenders, so you need to get the Barrows defender as well, and then once you've got one of those, you can go back to Nex and get the other ones. If you get one ancient emblem and make the ancient defender and take that to Nex, you can then still get the ancient emblem again as long as you have that with you. So then you could go from there and get the Calphite ones, but those are pretty damn expensive in most situations and not as worth it, but I still have them, and if you have nothing else to upgrade, then they are still worth getting one of those as well. But grab yourself an ancient defender, guys. They're just too good. You definitely want to get one of these. And there we go, that brings us to the end of this one. Now, I am going to link in the description, guys, the one that I made for last year as well, because all of the things in there are still relevant. So I made this one, I had to think of some other things that weren't the same. I didn't want to just repeat what I repeated in that one, so I will link that down in the description below. And if you want to go ahead and watch that one too, it is still relevant, and it will still give you some more, like, pretty damn good stuff to buy that you should invest your money into. A couple of these didn't actually end up costing GP, but for example, the defenders, the Calphite ones will cost GP. They're still worth spending money on. They're still good, but once you've got the tier 80 ones, it's not the end of the world. You don't have to really get them just yet, or for a while at least, but eventually they do become more relevant. Anyway, I hope you all found this video useful. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, then of course, always make sure to click that like button. It will help YouTube push the algorithm for me and just get me pushed out there a little bit more. I just wanted to say one more time that the Patreon channel will have more unique content posted up there very soon. I'll be working on one probably in the next couple of days to get up there for a third one, and then we'll just continue building that up over time. So if you're interested, you can drop $1 over there and grab yourself a little bit of extra content. I'll also supporting the channel, and I very much really do appreciate it. That being said, current channel members and current patrons of the Patreon channel, guys, I appreciate it so freaking much. You really do help keep me full time. Like genuinely, it is literally a huge difference. So thank you all so much for the extra support. I very much appreciate it. Your names will have been on screen as they always are during this outro, and again, thank you all so much. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys are just awesome. But other than that, thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate that too, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See you later, guys. Bye.